Here's how to actually generate e-commerce sales through email marketing with 2025. If you're struggling with making sales or if you want to make more sales with email for your e-com brand, then this video is gonna for you. In those 6 simple steps, I'm gonna show you how to make an extra 20 to 25% more revenue from email marketing every single month. Step number 1 is gonna be fixing your deliverability. This is a must because if your deliverability is poor and emails land in spam, nobody will even see them. And fixing them and your deliverability isn't some kind of magic. All you need to do is have a custom sailing domain, set up SPF, DKYM and DMARC records, build up your domain's reputation across ESPs, monitor your metrics, which is open rate, bounce rate, spam rate, unsubscribe rate, and keep them within targets, and then run deliverability tests using tools such as Glowcaps, Gmas, and monitor Google Postmaster tools. If you complete all of that, your deliverability should be really good and you should be getting at least 40% open rates, which is once again the first step that you need to implement to make sure that you're getting results with email marketing. Without it, everything else won't matter, so make sure that you fix it for sure. If you don't know how to do it and want more in-depth guide, I have a video showing you everything you need to know about deliverability, how to fix them, how to fix it, how to fix your open rate and other metrics, so make sure you watch it. Step number 2 is gonna be knowing your audience. Now, too many brands and agencies seem to skip this step. They all start, generalizing, using generalized copy, generalized designs, copy and paste templates, and then they'll just say that, email marketing doesn't work or it's not worth it at all. It's not true, because once again, like if you're using templates and like generalized copy, I've seen this over and over again where auditing multiple accounts where the copy for each brand was pretty much like a template, which could be copy-pasted for other brands. It was super generic. It wasn't even mentioning the name of the product, which, I could tell in itself that was generic copy-paste template. And templates are fine, but just if you use them, for example, in terms of the design to follow a specific structure rather than using the exact same templates and just switching up, your brand's name or whatever. This doesn't work. Researching your target audience is a must for your brand as a whole, right? Not only for email, but in general, you need to know your audience. You must know your target customers' fears, frustrations, goals, and wants, solutions they've tried that didn't work for them, but also core beliefs and objections, and most importantly, language they use and the language that your brand uses as well. You need to make sure that your emails are also congruent with your website. That's going to be very important, but these are just some of the basics, but they're going to help you understand your customers, and they're going to help you create content that converts and resonates with your audience on a deep level. Step number 3, after having good deliverability and knowing your audience, is creating good emails. It's really as simple as that, I would even say. I wanted to highlight this point because before I show you the strategies that you can implement with flows and campaigns and all of that, you need to understand that you just need to have better emails, right? Because if something works for another brand or for other brands in general, but it doesn't work for you, it doesn't mean that the channel in itself, in this case email, doesn't work. Let's say your meta ad aren't performing. You probably wouldn't say like, okay, meta doesn't work, people who make it work are lucky, so I'm gonna quit. You're more likely to say, okay, seems like my creatives aren't converting, let's see how to make them better. And you're gonna start testing more creatives, you're gonna start doing more research, competitor research, audience research, and then you're gonna start creating better creatives because you know that what makes ads work is most of the part the creative in itself. And the same is true with email. There's thousands of brands scaling profitably every single month, so if your emails don't perform, you need to create better emails. Now, I know this was like a super generic advice, do better, but here's how to actually create good emails. By now you know that the foundation of good email is a solid research. This is the number 1 step. If you don't know the audience, then your copy will be poor and it won't resonate with them at all. Right, so the solid research is step number 1. Now, before you go further, you make sure that you check your own ads and landing pages, but also social media posts, because if something works there, like let's say you have a winning ad that you've been running for 2 months, then you can use this angle or content and turn it into an email, right? You already know that this content works, this angle works, so just repurpose it into email. Then you need to look up what other brands are doing. So search your 5 or 10 top competitors and see what they're doing. You can do this by checking websites like mailbird.com or mail.com. This is like a library of emails. It's essentially Facebook ads library, but for emails, okay? You can search a brand and see what emails they're sending and whatnot. So make sure that you take an inspiration from them, see what kind of angle they're using on repeat, for example, like every single month or bi-monthly, maybe even bi-weekly. And if you see, any kind of email, like let's say reviews or testimonials, or I don't know, maybe Mythbusters, then chances are they're creating it again and again and again because it works. And most importantly, you need to test multiple angles. In the end, you'll find something that hits. It's inevitable, you just need to put in the work and actually start sending more emails and creating better ones. So now you have deliverability in place, you already know your audience, and you have good emails. What to do with all of that? Well, then it comes down to creating flows and campaigns. After you have those foundations in place, time to put the knowledge into battlefield. One of the ways to make a ton of sales with email is using flows, or also called automated sequences. It's essentially like having a 24-hour, 7 days per week salesman that sends emails on your behalf anytime your subscribers takes an action, which is triggering them. So here's a list of must-have flows in 2025. The first one is gonna be welcome flow, which is triggered off whenever someone joins the email list. Then we have abandoned cart, abandoned checkout, browse abandonment, and site abandonment. All of these flows are pre-purchase flows, which means that they happen before the purchase. Site abandonment is for people who are on the homepage but didn't view the product. Browse abandonment is for those who viewed the product but didn't add it to cart. Abandoned cart is for those who added it to cart but didn't proceed to checkout. And abandoned checkout is for people who started the checkout but didn't make the purchase. Now there's one more pre-purchase flows, which is very uncommon. Not many brands are using it. I would say pretty much almost none at all, which is window shoppers. This one is triggered off of the segment that we create. It's very important because the segment in itself indicates the customer's high buying intent, which usually is they are very active on site, they are viewing a lot of products, or they're clicking emails quite a lot. But the other conditions are that they are not in any of those flows, right? Just to make sure they're not getting both of the flows simultaneously, and they are non-buyers. So they have never purchased from you, but they're actively, browsing for a website and for the emails. Now we have also post-purchase flows, which is gonna be the post-purchase in itself. Replenishment, if applicable. If your brand, has one of purchase products which can be replenished, then skip this flow. But on the other hand, you need to have customer win-back flow and first purchase anniversary. Those are critical post-purchase flows to make sure that you create higher AOV and LTV overall. All of those purchases generated from these flows are gonna be extremely profitable because you have already paid to acquire those customers. Then you also have sunset and engaged flow, which is more like a maintenance flow, which essentially the goal of this flow is to clean your list and remove unengaged people. Now step number 5 is gonna be creating campaigns. If you know your target audience and how to create emails and you have flows in place, you need to stay consistent and target the right segments with campaigns. Consistency is pretty simple. You just need to send between 3 to 4 campaigns per week. And that's it, okay? I would suggest you you can try sending more, but usually sending more is for really big brands. But even for those, 9-figure brands, and ultimately the strategy could be sending 3 to 4 campaigns per week. We have one client doing 9 figures and we're gonna be sending for them 3 to 4 campaigns per week, mainly because more could be, a little bit overwhelming for people. But on the other hand, if the content is good, if the deliverability is good, and if you have great email list, which is great in terms of the size, you have big email list, which you can, micro segment, then it makes sense to send more. But 95% of the brands are gonna be, doing insanely well just by sending 3 to 4 campaigns per week. Segmentation should be fairly easy as well. I don't like to do super micro segmenting, once again, unless you have a huge list, but usually you would just target segments below, which is engaged, buyers, non-buyers, potential purchasers, and then buyers reactivation. This is really all you need. I wouldn't complicate this too much because once again, those 5 segments are more than enough for you to generate a ton of sales from emails. Then you just need to keep testing angles, formats, and offers, and in the end, you will start getting great results that you can replicate every single month. Now, step number 6 is joining my email list, and I mean this seriously. It's free, like completely free, and you'll be getting weekly insights, current trends, and strategies that work for 7 and 8-figure brands. I'm gonna be showing the exact tests we're running for our clients and what's currently working and generating the best results. There's gonna be a link below this video in the description, so make sure you sign up, it's completely free. Once you sign up, make sure you watch my other video, which is gonna be a complete deliverability masterclass to make sure that you get the step number 1 right.